Let's say it's an honor to stand up here and speak today, and I do sit as a member at large for social justice on the Windsor District Labour Council. Itself been an honor. I'm not too sure right now that I speak for the Windsor Labour Council, but I know what I'm going to try to accomplish while I sit there, and being here today certainly gives a lot of an idea of what I need to do, because what's really missing today is a sense of solidarity and working class consciousness. We've been victims of a capitalist system and its elements of consumerism and the media that has driven us apart as a working class. Even in this city right now, there is an assault going on with people who rely on facilities such as pools in their own neighborhoods, and city council is coming after them in an assault on their ability to build and maintain community with simple services like pools that serve the elderly, children, and the disabled. And without that sense of working class consciousness, it's easy to say, as we sit in other neighborhoods that are more well off, that it's their problem, it doesn't affect us. Just like the Supreme Court decision is somebody else's problem and doesn't affect us. There's an attack, there's an assault on the working class, not only in this city, but in this country, in this province, and around the world. I would make no mistake that what we're seeing in the Middle East is a result of the assault on the working people of those countries that have been suffering under neoliberal capitalism for decades. I don't know how many people remember the term structural adjustment program, but those were programs designed to decimate social services and take away the profits that belong to the people and allow corporations to use them to march across the world in their march for destruction in search of ever greater profits. It starts as local struggles, but it's a global working class consciousness that's our real challenge. And I'd like to do my part here with everybody that's here and other workers in this city to transcend the division between organized labor and working class. It doesn't matter whether we're members of a union or whether we work in bars, daycares, hospitals, the frontline services, the farms, the tomato and mushroom factories that people work in that suffer under horrendous conditions. So that the whole idea is to build that consciousness between us and among us all. And here in Windsor we have the Workers' Action Centre, the Windsor District Labour Council, the Windsor Peace Coalition. There's a fantastic array of workers that are trying to build solidarity, even as we honor the few differences that we might have over exactly how we accomplish things. So I think I'm with Victoria as well, that no matter who wins this election, please do not sit back and wait for change to be delivered. Obama across the river proved that there is no such thing as change delivered. We have to go and get it. It's always been the way. And some of the struggles in the past, that jump immediately to mind, like the shirtwaist factory fire, galvanized people to make that change for themselves because they could see the disaster they are in if they let others determine their future for them. So it's very much about determining our own future, making our own history, building links among ourselves. Do not get fooled into thinking that there's a middle class versus a working class versus the poor. The middle class, I would argue, is simply a social construct that had a specific point in history. The capitalists that invented it are now intent on taking it apart because it no longer suits our interests. So as a working class, we have to stick together like never before, build all the links, starting locally and building in the future, not the end, but a global consciousness, a global working class consciousness. Thanks very much.
Alright, our next speaker is Megan Mills, a University of Windsor student and a human rights activist.